Okay, so here you're going to have a setup. You take a look at that picture. This is what you have. You have a Windows host, and you have a Debian guest in VMware, and you have an Android guest in your Android Studio. So that's what you have. Those three machines working together. So scroll down.
Okay.
And so now you have to install some stuff in your Linux machine. And you can copy, now you already did the first one, install Android Tools ADB. So just copy the next lines. It's probably best to do them one at a time. Copy that wget and put it in your Debian.
Okay,
and it looks like in your machine, copy and paste is working fine from the host to the guest. So that makes it easy.
Yes, it does. Let's see.
Yeah, it does. Great. Just press enter. That'll download something and then download the next one. You're good. It's very nice that you can copy and paste. Often that fails, and you have to use.
I'm surprised it's working.
Yeah, it's working very well.
Yeah.
All right, just keep going. You're getting a tool called APK Tool, which is a fantastic hacking tool for Android that totally lets you take apart Android apps and modify them and put them back together, which is what we're going to do. Right, and now you have to install Java, which is the next one. Well, actually, I don't think we really need it. Oh, we will. That's right. We need it to sign the app. Okay, good. Your machine is working very well. All right.
Still going.
Yeah, well, Java's always big and slow.
Yeah.
It's like .NET that I was talking about yesterday. Okay, now the next one, we'll download the app from me. This is an old version of the Progressive Insurance app. And I don't think they fixed this vulnerability in the new one. Okay, this is where you disassemble it with APK Tool. Just you putting that in.
We added APK.
Yep.
And then we put the app on.
Yeah, the app is called base.apk, and this will decompress. It will disassemble this app.
Okay.
So the app is a container.
You can see inside of it?
Yes, you can see all the code and you can modify the code, which is mind-boggling and should not be permitted. There are apps that prevent this. For example, the NFL football app has a protection against this because a security researcher posted their vulnerabilities and they fixed them. But the big companies can't be bothered. So now, there's a picture here of what the app looks like.
Yep.
If you just scroll down a bit, it doesn't really matter, but this is what it looks like. There's base and there's all these subfolders that are all full of code. And we're going to find interesting code in there. So just scroll down. This grep will do it. This will look for the word login in every file, in every subfolder with case insensitivity, that's -IR, and then we're going to look for password. We're going to look for login and password on the same line.
Okay, so tell me, what is the grep command?
Grep looks at every line of a file, and any line that contains this word, it prints it out.
Okay.
And RR looks at every file in the current directory and all subfolders.
Also.
And I means case insensitive, so capital or lowercase letters. And so it found a bunch of things containing both of these, but they scroll in an unhappy way. So scroll down and there's a way to make a prettier picture using less. Adding less to the end will avoid that. You can use up arrow to repeat the previous command.
Oh, right. Okay. So.
And then just put a pipe less minus capital S. That will put it all on one line. Okay? There, and now we see, you see there's a whole bunch of them in this one file. All the ones at the bottom are in this thing called login view model.
Login view model. Okay.
Yep, okay, so that's where you want. And so just go down to the next line in my instructions. That's the file we're going to edit. Yeah, press Q to exit less.
Okay, press Q to exit less.
Get you back. Okay, now the next command, the nano command, will let us edit one of those files.
So hold on.
Yeah, you executed an extra Q. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Viewing, and then this here?
Yep.
Execute the
Yeah,
now?
that will edit the file that contains these words in it, both login and password, something like that. There. Okay.
Based on the parameters that we're setting with the base. Okay.
Yeah. And now you want to do a search. Control W is how you search in Nano. It's a really old text editor, and now you search for that thing. You can copy and paste it in. Login online account, open parentheses.
Where does this go?
Right there, yep. Okay, and now do Control W and search again to find the second occurrence of that. Control W and enter. Okay, and you should be, scroll down a bit in the instructions, and let's see. I think you're right. Good. So here you are. Scroll down a bit. See the locals 5. This is it. Now you have to scroll up in the where you are. Scroll back up to the start of this. There. You went too far. Go down some more. Okay, a little bit more. There. See this thing, private login account, where the cursor is blinking. Just go down 1 or 2 lines.
Hold on, just a sec. Let me see where we're at in the.
Yeah. That's
you're in,
you're in the second picture, the one below that. There. That's the one that starts with login online account. There. And then it has locals 5. Now, see now the way this is Smalley, which is compiled Java code, also called bytecode. It is very readable. And what's going on is there are a total of 16 registers available to store variables. And you have every method lists how many of them it's using. Now, right now it's using 5 variables. And there are a total of 16. We want to change that to 6, so we reserve an extra variable for us to use to modify this app. So change that 5 to a 6, and you can't use the mouse. You have to use the arrow keys to move around in Nano, because it's
I just added something. So
yeah. That's it.
Like
The perfect way is to leave without saving changes, but you could also fix it by scrolling in the instructions a little bit and see what should be there.
Okay.
Just scroll down a bit. Yeah, right there. It should be, nope, you don't have that line. Nope, that line is not in the instructions. So I would just leave and come back. Give it Control X to exit.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, Control X and then N to not save. Okay, now use up arrow to edit it again.
Okay.
Then enter. Then Control W. And then paste to search for that string. Okay, then enter. And then Control W and enter again. And now you're back to where you want to be. Now change that to a 6. Just go down and left.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, now you change it to 6. Okay, now go to the instructions and scroll down a bit.
Okay, so
After you've got... Yeah,
okay.
now you scroll down so you can see the next picture. You want to scroll down below line 434. By the way, the original Java source code lines are marked as comments in here. So if you scroll down a bit, you'll see line 434. You see it there?
Yeah.
Okay, now, what this code does, and it's a little easier to see in my picture than in your screen, this code is what handles the name and password. And you can tell, because if you read that, it does a login request. That's online. The next line, move your cursor up to one line, go to the right. This is login request. Go to the right edge. Then the next line down, look at that. That's login request.
Oh, login request. Right.
The next line gets the username. Look at the right side of it.
Username.
It gets the username. Then go down to the next one. It gets the value of the username in the get value. Then it moves the resulting object to v2. V2 are the local variables. So v2 contains the username. And then it checks to make sure it's a string. Now the next thing gets the password. You'll see password text on the right. And then it puts it in get value. You see the get value on the right.
Right there.
And then it moves it into v3, the next variable, and then it checks to make sure it's a string. So at that point, v2 contains the username and v3 contains the password. So all we're going to do is add those lines of code, which will put those in the log. So if you scroll up, you've got a place to copy those lines of code. Right there, just copy them. That's the Trojan code. And you just put that in after the check cast v3. which is, I think you've gone too far.
Oh,
Find line 434.
okay, I'm close.
Right. It's this stuff, you want to find the check cast V3. Go down further. I just used the arrow key to move down one line at a time.
Right there.
Yep, after that line is where you paste in that code.
So right here?
Yep, right there. That's it. Now you save this file. You've now modified the app by adding code to it.
Do I hit enter?
You press Control X. You could put enter to make a blank line, but it doesn't matter. Just Control X, Y, enter.
Yes, right?
Yep, and then enter. Yep, so now you've modified it. Now you just have to rebuild the app. And you'll see the instructions here. It's just APK tool B base.
Okay. Okay.
No, you got an extra character there. Just try typing it. When you copied it, you got a carriage return or something.
I think it took the space.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Yep, and it'll take a minute or so to rebuild it. And this should not be allowed. I mean, well, we'll see. When this runs, we can talk about why this shouldn't happen and what they should be doing about it. You clearly don't want to let people do this to your app.
Well, you know what's interesting too? Think about it. I mean, there's so many app building tools.
Yep.
They're really catering to the novice, someone who doesn't really know what they're doing.
Well,
So
yes.
anybody can build an app, so it's easy to see that apps are getting built without any security in them.
Well, yes, that's currently what's happening. They're just rolling them out. Anyway, so okay, now the problem is you cannot install an app unless it is signed. So you have to sign it, and that's what the Java tool is. Key tool is part of the Java development kit. So run that. This will create a code signing key. Android key, and then just give it a password. Just use password. And then again, password. And now you have to press enter several times.
Should I put my first and last?
No. A criminal wouldn't. But watch, there's going to be, now you have to say yes.
Say yes?
Yep. Now you could be putting in Google and stuff and making it look like it really was signed by Progressive or somebody. All right, now you've created this key. Now jar signer is the command to sign the app, the next one.
Jar signer.
Yep.
Okay, here.
Yep.
So we're signing it.
Yep, we created a certificate which was self-signed, which is what's really used for Android apps. And now you got to put in your password of password. Okay, there it is, signing every resource in the app. All those are all the varying files in the app, and then it's going to pack the signed app into an APK, and it's done. So now you have to move the app to your host system. Now, in your case, this will be pretty easy.
Go over here to my Android.
Yeah, but we're going to move it onto your Windows system first. Now, since you have copy and paste working, we can do this the easy way. Click Activities, and then open Files, the blue folder, blue file cabinet. Yep. And we'll just find your app in the graphic. Okay, go into Base, and then Dist for distribution. And there's your modified app. Right-click Copy, or maybe just drag and drop on your desktop. Copy and paste will probably work. Then right-click Paste on your desktop on your Windows machine. Oh, it won't let you do it. See if you can drag and drop. Or if it won't, if it won't let you do that, then you can do it with this Windows utility. Go back to the instructions. There's a WinSCP client you can install.
Okay.
You can also do it from PowerShell, but WinSCP is probably the easiest. Just install that on your Windows machine. Yeah, download now. And that's adds. It's down at the green button. Yeah.
This one, right?
Yeah, this always gets my students. They're always installing adware from those deceptive pages. And now it's making you wait for a few seconds. There it is coming in on the left. Yeah, it's just run that.
So just run it.
Yeah, it's just an installer. Doesn't matter. Sure. Doesn't matter which one. That's good. Okay. And, okay, you can uncheck those boxes. It doesn't matter.
Launch, open, getting started.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, all right. Launch is all right. So it should launch somewhere. I think it's in the next button on your taskbar. Just go down to taskbar at the bottom. There's the rightmost icon is the new app you just installed.
Where?
At the bottom of your desktop, there's
Oh, down
yeah,
here.
yeah, right there. That's it. Okay, there it is. That's fine. Okay, there it is. Okay, now choose SFTP is correct. Now your host name, that's right. Your host name is going to be the IP address of your. Just choose SFTP. That's what we want, I think. And then let me check the instructions. Actually, I don't remember if it's SFTP. Let's see. It is. Yeah, it's SFTP. Okay, now you need the IP address of your Linux machine. So go back to your Debian machine and open a terminal. Your Debian machine on the right. Yeah, there you are. And activities terminal. You can just close that window there with the X, and that'll reveal the terminal. Seems kind of frozen up, huh?
Yeah.
How rude. It seems to have some kind of problem with the graphics on that machine.
Okay.
Well, you can restart it. Looks like you have to, huh? This happened before. Just player power restart. That's a little rude. It was working so well, but it seems to freeze up a bit on the graphics.
Yeah, which I have a good. I mean, that would be based on my graphics card, right? I've got a good
Yep.
graphics.
Well, you do. It would suggest that whatever the driver is, it isn't quite right. This is why some of my students have to use VirtualBox instead of VMware for problems like this.
Mm-hmm.
And probably like updating the driver and maybe updating VMware might help.
Yeah.
But there's always something.
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky it's going as well as it is.
It is a lot better than mine. So, yeah. All right. Nice. And now if activities terminal, the activity's not working again? How rude.
Well, let's give it a second.
Oh, good. Then terminal. Just search for tur. Okay. And then do IP space A. And then enter. Yeah, there it is. So there's your address. The 192.168. Yeah, just copy that. Good. And put it in the host name.
Got it.
And then the username and password are both Debian.
Okay.
And then just log in. And say yes to agree that you're connected to this server. And now, there on the right, you can go into base. That's your Debian on the right and your Windows on the left. So go into base, dist, and your base.apk, just drag it and put it somewhere on the left. Like right now it's in documents, so that's okay. If you drag it and drop it, it should now be in the documents on your Windows machine.
Okay, so just on my regular Windows.
Yep,
machine,
yep,
right?
that's right. So take a look in documents. And you might sort by date. It should be the latest thing. Yep. One more. That's maybe it didn't go to documents. Well, let's go back to that FTP app. Maybe you didn't drag it over.
Okay.
You drag it and drop it on the left, but not in the folder, but down among the files. So drag base.apk.
So just give it a second because it's doing something.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, you want to drag it and drop it at the bottom of the left window, not in the folders, but down where the files are.
Dragging, okay. Not in a folder, but where?
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to go in some folder.
Moving it from here to here.
You are, but you want to go below those folders. Otherwise, it's going to go into one of those folders, which is probably what happened, where it's hard to find.
Yeah, see, but I could do a search for it. Probably.
You could, yeah. Base.apk.
But it's doing something. It's stuck on something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I can't see that window that's popped up, but okay. Oh, I see. It's busy. Well, this is rude. Maybe this is another problem with that Debian machine. Yeah, seems to have frozen up on you.
When SCP is not responding.
Well, yeah, something's...
Take the task manager out of it?
Yeah, maybe you should kill WinSCP and relaunch it. Maybe we'll have to restart the Debian machine again. Something's not quite right. Yeah, WinSCP should be there. There it is. Not responding. Yeah, might as well kill that. End task, yeah. Okay. Try launching it again. We'll see. There are a few little bugs. You just have to go to search and search for WinSCP. We can also do this in PowerShell. We don't really need a third-party application. I would do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say yes.
Okay. And
Okay,
now
so let's do this again.
that IP address of your...
Still have my IP.
Oh, good.
in there.
And then Debian. Good.
Debian. Okay, log in.
Base.
Okay, so base.
And then dist.
And this.
Yep.
Okay, now let me drag and drop. I think
Yep.
this is where we went wrong last time.
There, that looks good. Drop it there. There it goes. And say OK. That's good. Now you should find it in your Documents folder.
Okay, so now I can find it here. Documents.
And there it is, right at the top. Now just drag it and drop it on the phone.
Over here. Okay.
Yep. Good. And there it goes. Okay, now we have to connect to your phone with ADB. So open a command prompt. I think you've got one open on your Windows machine. I see one down there.
Yep.
Okay, try typing ADB and see what happens. Okay, this is unfortunately very common. It's when you installed Android Studio, I think it installed ADB, but it put it somewhere where it can't find it because it never fixes the path. So if you look at the instructions and scroll down a bit, there's a CD command to get to where it is.
Let me
Wherever.
find the
Yeah.
instructions. I got them somewhere.
Yeah, there. You have somewhere.
Which one are they?
Scroll down a bit. It's in the Smalley. There. It's 401. And we're down towards the bottom of this.
Oh,
Did all that.
did this.
There's the Windows stuff. This is good.
Did
Keep
this.
going. Yep. And that's for Mac. There's this. You have to do that CD app data command. This should take you where ADB is.
Okay. So in my command prompt,
Right.
I'm going to do CD. Let's see if I can.
You should be able to copy and right click to paste. Yep. There, that did it. Good. And now you should be able to do ADB. Try ADB. And that'll work too. Just run the whole thing in. Good. Okay. Now it's listening for log lines. This is reading the live log of the Android system, and it's looking for a line containing the word Trojan. Now open the Progressive app and log in.
Okay, so
So,
we're going to open the Progressive
It should
app.
be there. Good. Okay. And this is the point. This is a modified app. At this point, their server should verify the integrity of the app, notice it's broken, and refuse to do business with you. That's what the NFL would do, but they're too stupid to do that. So put in a fake user ID and password.
Okay. And it doesn't matter what password,
Nope,
right?
just nothing important because it's going to be stolen. And then log in. And there it is on the left.
Oh my gosh.
It's so, and that is now also the flag. I think if you scroll down, just some part of that screen is the flag. Yeah.
So, and did you notice I had graphics?
Yes, the app has graphics. It's just Chrome that for some reason is not working on your phone. But anyway, so there you go.
Progressive, okay. Credentials.
Yep.
Got it. 401.1.
Yeah. M401. Is it not? There it is, 401.
I got it, yeah.
I hope that works. We'll see.
We'll see.
It might give you trouble for we'll see. Okay, I'm worried about me. I think it's 401.1, and I've got 401. Let me.
And it is M, right?
Well, I think it's 401.1. Let me check the instructions. Yep, I got to fix my template. When I put this in, I think I got an old version of these mobile flags, and the .1 is the update. So let me drag this file up here. All right. Okay, go to the flag page and refresh it. And you should now have a 401.1 instead. Yeah, go back one and refresh this. And now look for the M's. There should be a 401.1. There it is. And this one should take the right answer. It's there. You just got an extra carriage return, I think. There, good. Okay, good. And this is the most common app vulnerability. Almost every app is vulnerable to this, and there's no excuse for it. They could easily verify the hash of the app or the signature when you first connect and refuse to talk to you and say, no, your app is damaged and must be updated. That's what they should do. But nobody bothers except for a few random companies like the National Football League.
And again, we could go test all of our own apps.
Yes, you can. And you will find that 90% of apps have this vulnerability. You can modify them, and they continue to work because they don't bother to test for this. It's pretty appalling. Now, even the ones that do test, you can still hack them. I'll just mention the project for that. There's a researcher, I think a French researcher, that decided to hack the Indian government app. India switched to using an Android app for like their official ID, for like business. They called it the M-Aadhaar app. The next app, 402. So this app is actually more secure. It won't run on a rooted device, and it also won't let you modify the code. It notices. And in this one, he put this on a Twitter thread, and I just made a project out of it. We found the code that detects if the device is rooted and the code that detects if the app has been modified, and we can remove that code and then make a modified app that works.
Ooh.
But they did put a defense in, and we had to find and remove the defense. So anyway, let me stop this recording.